Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hey, hi, hello there, how's it going? I am the Grandmaster, but you can call me D-Ray, bringing you the draft analysis for the next season of the main division for the UNPL. Very excited to be back. Thank you so much, Danny Mac and Dapper Snapper for giving me the invite, and I'm excited to run another season. Definitely so. I was gonna take another break, but I was like, let's play some Pokemon. The VBR season is not going the way that I would have liked, and I need to get my self-esteem back. And so here we are, playing the UNPL. If you guys are ready for another season, do me the massive favor and rage fist that thumbs up button. And if you're a new boy 5 hit that subscribe button, turn on post notifications, and hit the bell button so you get notified every single time we post a new video. That small amount of time it takes for you to hit that like and sub button really truly does help me out a lot, so please just sub. Thank you guys. So like I said, the BBR season didn't go too great. like I know I'm good at the game. I'm just coming up short. I need to get this Wi-Fi thing under wraps. Like I've been playing better. I just got to get over that hump. So I want to get more repetition in, consistent repetition. So we're gonna take some names in the UNPL. Very excited for the roster. Danny and Dapper did a fantastic job pulling together some very high-end talent. So not to say that there is a difference from where I was before. This gonna say that it ain't gonna be easy. It's still gonna be very difficult, and we have to give it everything we've got, and I feel like we have the team to do it. However, spoilers, breaking the fourth wall, I have indeed played my first week game. It went great. You guys are gonna love that battle. That was a fantastic battle. Y'all gonna want to get your popcorn ready for that one. But in building, I was very crutched by a specific Pokemon that I am gonna talk about here in this draft analysis, because of the price point. And so I was gonna make some changes, pretty set on it. However, there was a Pokemon that was dropped like midnight, almost 1 a.m. and I was like going to the bathroom, and I saw the notification. I was like, oh, we can't leave that Pokemon there, and I will leave it there, and I'll talk about what the new transactions are for week number 2, and going from there, leave you a little cliffhanger. Without further said, the team captain is staying on the team. We ended up taking Great Tusk. We're like in the top end of the draft. I think we're like 6th or 7th, I don't remember. We were able to grab this Pokemon, top 5 Pokemon in my opinion. This Mon is fantastic, Gen 9. Great Tusk does it all. Incredible breaker, incredible bulky Pokemon to really wall a lot of teams. Has Rapid Spin for removing our hazards. It has Stealth Rock to set up our own hazards. Knockoff for some support. Fantastic dual stabs in ground and fighting, to pair it off with fantastic dual stab moves like Headlong Rush, the more fancy version of high horsepower. Earthquake, close combat, body press, which pairs off really high with its really high defense stat. Same defense stat as its attack stat. So this Pokemon does it all. With booster energies, it could be fast to really sweep through teams. It can set up with bulk up, which is fantastic. A lot of versatility for Draft League. I've used Great Tusk in the UNPL in the past, and I absolutely loved it, and I could not pass it up when it was here. It was actually not an option, so we picked up Great Tusk. And to pair this Pokemon off, we did want to get something that's able to pressure Grass-type Pokemon, and the best Pokemon, in my opinion, to do that was on the board was Zapdos. Zapdos is an electric flying type that helps us get rid of those Grass types like I just talked about, and really helps us bully those bulky waters that want to come on Great Tusk, and allows us to pivot out with Volt Switch and U-Turn, which is fantastic for an electric type Pokemon. Roost for longevity lets us be super bulky, paired off with its ability of static, makes us very tough to deal with on the physically defensive side, which is really cool. It has Hurricane for stab on the flying type, and then a lot of different coverage for electric type moves, but it's always using it to run dual stabs plus Roost, U-Turn, etc. It can run Eerie Impulse some weeks. Fantastic Mon. This Pokemon has been good for a very, very, very long time, and it pairs off, I believe, incredibly well with Great Tusk. And then I wanted to get another Pokemon for this to facilitate another sweeper. Great Tusk does a fantastic job with really breaking down the team, so we had to get a Pokemon that kind of puts the exclamation point on it, and I thought Weavile would have been fantastic. Weavile was there in round 3, and this Pokemon still does what it did in the past so great now that it has access to Knockoff and Triple Axle, which is really good. Low kick for some steel types. It now has Baton Pass, which is super funny in case I want to force a switch in or bait something out to be able to let the rest of the team deal with it. But this speed tier is elite. 125 base speed, top tier. These first 3 Pokemon, I vomit as an opponent trying to prep for this team. I'm really excited to pair off these three. I feel like they're going to be really good together, and I'm super excited to have Weavile. And they want to get a little bit more support to be able to help us out with fairy types, because right now we have a pretty big weakness to fairy, as well as ice types because of both Great Tusk and Zapdos not appreciating it. So we decided to go with Empoleon. Empoleon is going to be really nice to be able to allow us to get up Stealth Rocks reliably. With Roost to this gen, it's very good. It's a Steel Water type, fantastic typing. And as the flip turn makes this thing so good. It did lose Scald, which sucks, but nonetheless, it's still going to be pretty bulky and be great bulky support. And having access to a 111 base special attack, it could be a fantastic breaker, which is really cool. Paired off with this new buff in competitive, it used to have a different version, but it boosted attack. Forgot what it was, but now it's competitive, which is cool. Boost special attack, which helps it out even more. So I think Empoleon is really good fit for this team. I thought it was really nice. Allows us to really facilitate Great Tusk, Zapdos, and flip turn helps us get in Weavile for those late game sweeps. So from here, we decided to go ahead and take in Gengar. Spoilers, Gengar will not stick around, unfortunately. Reason for it is because the Pokemon that got dropped is Teaser, a poison type. And this poison type was unresistible. However, I did want to play with Gengar, and Gengar, spoilers, came in week number 1. I was very excited to use it, but with this Pokemon being dropped, the composition had to change just a little bit and give us a little bit more of an upgrade on a lot of positions. And I'll talk about those in this draft analysis, but you'll see more information in week number 2. Gengar did come in week number 1, and it put in the finest. So this Pokemon is a powerful special attacker, very fast at base 110. We had 125, base 110. We still maintain the 110, by the way, with another transaction. So Gengar was here to help break the team because we had great breakers, but Zapdos was more flexible to do special breaker / pivot for the team. This is going to come here to click buttons. So that was the main idea of Gengar. Next spawn is Sylveon. Sylveon also will leave the team because it was just a casualty to get an upgrade. There was a Pokemon left on the board that should not be there. It should always be drafted in Generation 9, in my opinion, because it's so anti-meta. Teaser. So we ended up dropping Sylveon for it, but at the time we wanted a special defensive wall to pair off with the Empoleon, because Empoleon does not like fighting types. So Sylveon can fill that role in some given matchups and resist the fighting type stabs, which is really cool. So they complement each other very well. This gave us wish support, powerful pixelated boost to hyper voices, baton pass for momentum, but mostly Sylveon was here to pair off with the Empoleon. But like I said, you'll find out week 2 who we replaced it with. And then next up, we decided to bring in Deoxys, defense. However, this is the Pokemon that crushed our team, the one I was talking about. I love Deoxys. However, my goggles for Deoxys crippled this team. It really did. At the time, we thought we needed spikes. So spikes look really good in this team. We need another Stealth Rocker, which looks fantastic for this team. And a bulky pivot. And this thing having access to teleport still was fitting the mold perfectly. And I used it one season in the BBR. And I loved it. I loved prepping with it. But the problem is that my goggles, my love for this Pokemon, I didn't think this through. And this was 15 points. Very expensive. And it really crippled the rest of the team. I believe that the rest of the team that you're going to see after Deoxys, we did keep. Yes, we did. We did keep. However, we were able to upgrade some of the pieces and allow one more Pokemon to join the team that allows a little bit more roles to be filled, which is making our team so easy to prep for. So unfortunately, as much as I love Deoxys, we did have to let it go to free up the points, and now we have more money to play with, but that's why we wanted Deoxys defense. Next Pokemon is our first Terra Captain in Braviary. This is by far the best Terra Captain that was allowed. Terra is allowed in this season, unfortunately, but you know, it is what it is. It's the mechanic of the gen, I get it. This is me talking out of my BBR lens, right? Braviary is our Terra Captain with Terra into flying, normal, and ground, which is really cool. Ground allows us to be immune to our electric type weakness and allows us to really bully through some steel types that want to come in on our dual stabs. This Pokemon was 6 points. The rules were any Pokemon from 6 points and below can Terra with some restrictions actually. You can choose up to 3 Terra Captains, but they cannot surpass the point total of 12. This was 6, and I thought by far this was the best 6-pointer that was available. This thing hits like an absolute truck and has fantastic utility. Things like, what is it called? Where you Defiant, there you go. Defiant that punishes defog. And then it also has access to sheer force boosted moves, which is really great. Sheer force boosted crush claws hit like a truck, even though it is a normal type. But this Pokemon could be very, very hard hitting on a special type with like sheer force boosted hurricanes, even though it does have 57 base special attack, but can be doing stuff like that, which is really cool. So Braviary was the best breaking Terra Captain. I like to have 2 Terra Captains, one that's offensive and one that's defensive, and this was it, and it does stay on the team. Last Pokemon that we picked up was the Go-Goat. Go-Goat was going to be our defensive Terra Captain. Go-Goat does stay on the team, but does no longer have access. No, actually doesn't stay on the team. I had one Pokemon that, as much as I love Go-Goat, I feel like it's such an underrated Pokemon. There was one upgrade that I could not overlook, and I had the points to get it, and it was the tier above it. So we ended up getting that Pokemon, but Go-Goat does come week 1, and it does put in the finest amount of work. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that battle. But we decided to get Terra Water, Ground, and Steel as our bulky pivot Terra Captain. This is the team. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. Very short team builder because, again, a lot of these changes were made for week number 2. You do not want to miss week number 1. It was a banger of a battle. You're not going to want to miss that. And thanks again to the UMPL staff for allowing me to come in. It's going to be a fun season. I'm very much so looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. With that being said, I'm going to get the heck up out of here. Have a great rest of your day. And above all else, be nice. Peace.